In this lecture, we'll learn quickly about the for loop, while loop, and do while loop in the JavaScript. So first of all, you have to learn about what is loops. So loops are used to iterate the piece of a code using for, while, do while. As we have already said that we have three types of loop in the case of a JavaScript. So what if I just say you that is, let's print me your name, or you can console log your name. In my case that is Sachin, and let me say something that you have to just print this, that is 1000 times. So if you don't know about the loop, you have to simply copy paste it 1000 times, and it is very tedious task. So instead what you can do is make use of the loop. So we have for loop, while loop, do while loop, and the for in loop, but we'll just start from for loop. So first of all, JavaScript for loop iterate the element for the fixed number of times. It should be used if number of iteration is known. So let's see the syntax first. So you have to make use of this for keyword in all lowercase. And first here is the initialization, and just give this semicolon after each of these part. So next one would be your condition. It should be condition, and just give another semicolon and the increment or update. You can also show that this is update. So after this you have to just put your, this is the scope, and here you have the code to be executed. So you can see this is the way in order to create the for loop. So let's take a small example in order to see how this for loop work in the real life. So let me just create the script over here using this for loop, and I have said that first one is initialization. So let me just create one variable and give this value to be 1. So this is your initialization, and basically you'll make use of this var keyword in order to create any variable initialization. Next one is your condition, same as we have done in the case of if else condition, and I'll make use of this. And next one is your update or the increment. So let me just write it quickly and show you what is happening over here. So I'll just say console.log, which was our name, which I just give you the example a minute before. So if I just close this, so you can simply see over here what we have done is we have created the for loop using this the syntax, which is initialization, and for every initialization or for every loop it will just check for this condition. So here you have to just print your name, which is Sachin in this case, 5 times, because if this condition is false it will just terminate this loop. And you can see we have the update over here showing that in every loop you have to increase the value of 1. So first it will be 1, and it will just check the condition. If 1 is less or equal to 5, which is true, that means it will just enter this scope and it will just print such in first time, and then the next it will just increase the value of I. It will be 2, and it will again check for the condition 2 is less or equal to 5, which is true again. It will just enter into this scope and print the Sachin again. Again it will increase the value of I, and when the value of I would be 5, it will just check again this condition 5 is less or equal to 5, which is again true because 5 is equal to 5. It will just print Sachin again, and in the next it will make 6, and it will just check again the 6 is less or equal to 5, which is false. It will terminate this loop and print us the name Sachin, that is your 5 times. So you can see over here we just made use of this Sachin, and you can see it is 5 over here. That means you have just made use of this loop in order to print your name 5 times. So this is your simple for loop where you have initialization, condition, and the increment in order to do the same tasks multiple times. So the next one is the while loop. So the JavaScript while loop iterate the element for the infinite number of a time. It should be used if the number of iteration is not known. So unlike this for loop, in which case the iterations should be known because you have to just give the condition over here. But if the number of iteration is unknown for you, that means you have to make use of this while. So while is all in lowercase and give the condition over here. So it should be the condition same as the for loop, and after that you'll just give the code inside this scope to be executed. So let's make use of this while loop now. So first of all, while, and here let me just first create one variable. So I'll just say for I is equal, should be equal, let me say 11. So we have created the variable. So let me just create the while loop, and I'll just give the condition inside these parentheses. So I'll just say while I is less or equal 15, you have to first increment your I. So I plus plus is same as saying I plus 1. So do this, and after that you have to just console. So I'll just say console.log and your name. After that you will just close this down. So here what happens is, basically, let me just do this below over here after you just code. So what happened here? So you can see the Sachin has been printed numerous times. So you have just forgot here to put some, that is the deadline. So you could see the web page is slowing your browser because you have the persistent log over here. So you have to close now. So I'll just say stop this. So because we just didn't put that is I plus plus, which was the increment, so due to that we had the problem over there. So let me just go to the console again, and let me just type real quick again. So first of all it should be the variable. You just give the code to be executed, and after that you have to just put I plus plus over here. So which will just give some condition in order to terminate this loop. Otherwise it will just loop the infinite time, and it will just make our browser slower and slower, and you will just break your browser. So if I just press enter now, then you would see this Sachin has been printed. This is 5 times because you have a condition over here. While I is less or equal 15, that means it will just check this condition, it will increase the value 11 to 12, and again check the condition, and it will just print the same Sachin value over here, that is 5 times. So this is another way that is alternative to the for loop, but it has the special case that if the number of iteration is unknown for you, you can make use of the while, unlike that of for. So next one is your do while loop. So the JavaScript do while loop iterates the number for the infinite number of a time like while loop, but code is executed at least once whether the condition is true or false. So if you just see over here, we just made use of this while loop. So what if I just make use of condition like variable I should be 20, and again run this code? That means the condition is false over here, and when the condition is false it won't execute even at one time. So that means if the condition is false it won't execute in the case of a while loop, but in the case of a do while, at least one time the code will be executed, and it doesn't matter either the condition is true or a false. So let me just take example over here. So let me just create the variable. I'll just give the name, let me say I, and let me just create this do while, and I'll just say do something for me. So I'll just say console.log, and let me just close this down over here. I have to just increment the value of I, and after that I'll just put while, and after the while you have to give the condition. I'll just say less or equal to 25, and you have to give the semicolon at the end. It is essential. So if you see here in the that is the condition, or the value over here is 21. So what if I'll just say that it is 2? So clearly the condition over here is a false, because 21 is not less or equal to 2. Even if the condition is false, it will execute the search in one time. So it will just execute the search in, and you could see over here it is not showing the multiple time. That means the search in has been printed only one time, and either of the condition, that is it can be true or a false inside this while loop. One time this line of code will be executed. It won't matter of this condition inside this while statement. So this is the difference between the do while and the while loop. So do while will execute the code at least once whether the condition is true or false, unlike of that of while. In the case of a while, if the condition is false, it won't execute at least, or basically it won't execute any code, but in the case of do while, it will execute at least one time if the condition is true or false, or whether the condition is true or false. So this is your for, while and do while loop, and this is really important to know about the loop. You can make use of the repetition of your code based on that looping condition. So in the next lecture we'll learn about the functions and some array and objects, and we'll just directly dive into some of the advanced concept of a JavaScript and learn about the verb suite. So see you in the next one.